Hey guys. Alright, so that didn't take too long. Let me know if that's any better. Should be, hopefully. Reset everything. I'll give a couple minutes, see if you guys pop back in here. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. I promise. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Third time's a charm. Better, Abel. It needed a reboot. I know. I hadn't reset my router in a long, long time. So, is everything now free flowing and running relatively smooth? A lot better. Thanks, Russell. Nisi. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad I did it. I know I might lose a couple people, but it's so much better when you can actually, see and understand. And everyone's saying it's nice and smooth now, honey.
Okay, good.
Glad I did it. The smooth. All right, well, good. So we're gonna go a little long today then. So we're now looking at 3:30 p.m. Woohoo!
We see it clearly.
Is it coming in good over there? All right, good. My wife is keeping an eye on it in there to make sure it's, on the up and up. Come on, really quick. You guys know. Thanks, Jeffrey. Yeah, smash it. Thanks, radios. Looks good. Haven't tried the big screen. Yeah, don't, Barry, because then you're going to disappoint me. Oh, she got new shoes today. You show them the wings? Ready? Let me see if we can get them to work. You excited about your new shoes? And let me tell you, she can run almost 5 miles an hour faster. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
There's little Piper. Nice shoes. Everybody likes your shoes. Safe to film when it... Yeah, I don't know about that, Mike. Is it really 107? 107 degrees? Are you crazy? All right, love you.
Love you.
You're gonna say bye later, okay?
Bye.
Well, you can come back when we're done. No, when we're done.
Bye.
Camera hog. Yeah, they are. Thanks, Rimjet. Somebody said those are some really fly kicks. Okay. It's gonna start at 5. All right, so heat. There's heat everywhere. Heat waves. It's crazy. Well, I live in Central Florida, and it's been killing us here. Let's see. Nisi says, okay, first question. Just bought a few rolls of Ektachrome 160, expired 1980 today. Any suggestions? It's funny you bring that up, Nisi. You do have to overexpose them. But I have a roll in here in my Canon 514 XL of this. Ooh la la! You guys know that. By the way, that price tag right there, this film has a process before date. I picked the newest film I could for here of December of '96. So this is a brand new film. The best results you'll get typically are with the newer stock. That's a newer. They didn't make it much later than that. This 160, but to kind of help with Nisi's question there, you do have to overexpose this. Not quite as much as you would a Kodachrome of kind of the same era. I started shooting this and I did a lot of it outside. I was at my dad's house yesterday and it was really sunny, so I didn't really mess with it. This doesn't have a backlight feature, as you guys probably know, but it does have the EE lock, or the electronic exposure lock. I don't like to use that because it's kind of a pain in the... You got to kind of, focus on something dark, hold it, bring it back up to your subject, so it's kind of a pain. So we'll see. Typically, if it's film that's from 1980, Ektachrome 160, you're going to want to overexpose it by at least a stop and a half, maybe 2 stops, to get any chance at all at images. But I'm doing this roll here. By the way, I didn't even finish. The price tag on that, from 96, by the way, well, probably 94, $17.85. I wasn't, I don't remember a lot of that. I remember I got it in the early 90s, late 80s, and I remember it being about $4.50 a roll. You get a process for less than $5. Hey, Abel. Ooh, some fly kicks. Nike Air. No, those are Skechers. Sketcher Ground. Hopefully the heat calmed down. It's you know, right now it's 88 and partly cloudy, and it's 2:30 in the afternoon here. Bell & Howell 1235. Any good? My very first Super 8 camera in 1980 something was a Bell & Howell, one of those Filmosonics, and that's what that is. And they are very good cameras. I have a 1225 or a 1235, but it doesn't work. It used to, but it doesn't work. But they are good cameras if you can get one that runs, and I think they're sound cameras as well. Abel, am I right? Yours, I think the 1235 is a sound camera. I think you're right, Travis. I think they stopped making this in 96. I knew it was right around when this film expired. So this is, like I say, this would be considered relatively new for this film. That's why I chose this. I have a couple rolls left of this newer stock, and I want to run this through that crazy alternative HC110 ECN2 process that I did on my last video, just to see what it'll do. Now this kind of stinks because it has rimjet, and I've shot almost 30 feet of this roll so far, so we shall see. But I'll take the rimjet off of that, of course, first. Found a box of 11 rolls of 500T in 16mm 100 feet for $6.50. 11 rolls of 500T. That's not a very good deal, Bonnie. Usually you're the queen of the good deals, but I would stay away from that. That's high, I think. Wait. Yeah, I mean, you can get it. You can get it from direct from Kodak for about that price. That's, what is that, about $60 a roll? Yeah, I don't know. I can't say that it's like overly inflated, but if you don't know how old it is or how it's been stored, I don't know. That might be a little high. I paid what did I pay? I got 60 rolls, 100-foot rolls of Vision 2 50D in 16mm, and I paid around $600 for that, $10 a roll. Yeah, I remember that $5. Yeah, Mike, I wish those were back, man. Well, they are for me now, because I do it myself, but not to buy it. Let's see, 13-pound process. All in the 90s. Yeah, see that, Russell, those are long gone. God. You ever use a camera with a fixed focus, or do you prefer to use one that has manual focus? Fixed focus, any tips? Well, the best tip I can tell you for that, Jeffrey, is yes, and by the way, yes, I have my Shinon 20 PXL is fixed focus, and I have one or two others. I definitely prefer to focus myself, even though I'm not always right on. My wife just used the 20 PXL, and you guys saw her in the last video filming with it. I haven't processed that footage. The best tip I can give you is stay 5 feet away from your subject minimum. And they seem to do better if you're in the 5 to 15 feet range. Infinity just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't seem to do well in those fixed focus cameras, for me anyway. Just a couple that I have. I don't mind them. They're great cameras if you just want to throw a card of film in and run and just not worry about anything. Especially if it's a newer card of film where you simply don't have to worry about, you know, adjusting the exposure or anything like that. Let the camera do all the work. Then there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, They're good all around. Easy. They're very easy. Somebody texting me. Sorry, guys. No. Inflation calculator says it's $18 in 1994, $37 today. Yeah. Don't get me started on inflation. I like the results of your hybrid process. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I got a couple of pictures I'm going to show you guys here in a few minutes. I want to talk about that a little bit because I got some people that asked about maybe why I didn't show more before and after the color correction, and you know why I went one way and not another way on correcting some of the colors. And my immediate answer is I'm not by any means a professional at color grading at all. I'm still learning. Every time I have a film, I learn more. So I'm not an expert at color grading, but I will show you what I did. And I also want to show you one still frame of when I processed E6 in a Morse tank in the disaster that turned out. Somebody asked me, why don't you just post that video anyway? And I'll show you why in a minute, because it would kind of just be a waste. Not to show you that it's impossible to process E6 film in a Morse G3 tank, because I don't know if it's impossible. It didn't work for the times and temps that I used, but I may be completely off. So, but I'm going to show you the result that I got out of that and how bad it was. One roll of 500T and 60mm is 55 here when ordering from Kodak, but I don't know if it's with or without tax. Yeah, is it new film though, Bonnie? Is it 500T? Is it Vision 3? And can you verify that it's new and has it been stored really well? I think you're taking a big risk at paying. Well, somebody have a calculator on them? It's 650. I got one divided by 11. I mean, you're talking about $59.09 per roll. I don't know exactly. I can't remember exactly what a 100-foot roll. It's around $60, brand new from Kodak. But you're right. It might be, if you want to save on tax, then maybe it'd be worth it. But I hope 50D to work on that. It should work fine. It might overexpose it just a tad, but that's good for 50D. I've dedicated one of my Morse tanks to rimjet removal. So far, so good. That's not a bad idea. So do you remove the rimjet? I did a rimjet removal. I used a little sponge kind of taped to the roller when I did ECN2 in my Morse tank. 55 euro is 59.80 US dollars. Oh, you're doing euros. Okay, yeah, I forgot. You're in Sweden, right? Sponge, yeah. Well, that's what I did, and it seemed to take it off. In fact, my ECN2 test in that Morse tank came out way better than my E6 test. And my E6 film doesn't, that doesn't have rimjet on it. So, I don't know. That's not a bad idea. Outside, maybe just having a dedicated system for removing rimjet. What do you do when it takes up on the other spool? Do you run it a couple times? Do you drain? Because the water is going to be filthy the first time through. And so will the sponge be too. It'll be covered. I would imagine you would drain it, refill it, run it again. You probably need to run it a couple times at least across there to get most of it off. And I would say, if you're going to use a Morse tank to do rimjet film, then that's a good idea. If you're going to use a Lomo or a Lomo style tank and you're using new film, the rimjet's easy to get off. If you use an old film, it's hard to get off sometimes. So that's definitely a good system if you're using older film, like you're doing an old Ektachrome or I don't know, yeah, or a Vision stock or an EXR stock or something like that that has rimjet. Sometimes that can be a pain to get it off there in the Morse tank or in the Lomo tanks. And by the way, somebody emailed me, Dave Knopp, and he mentioned And he's right, because I can see it on my meter right there. I apologize for the ambient noise. You can probably hear my air conditioner. It's different when I shoot my normal YouTube videos because I wear a lapel mic, but I'm using my Logitech live stream camera right now, and it has a built-in mic. So you're going to hear a lot of noise, and he sent me a cool video that somebody posted on a filter. I use OBS software. On a filter you can apply to get rid of the noise. I just haven't done that yet. I'm going to have to try to figure out how. Great suggestion. I have tinnitus, really, really super severe tinnitus, so it's very hard for me to hear ambient sound. So if I watch a stream back, I'm not going to be able to hear the crazy background noises that I know are there because I can see it on my meter right there. Yeah, rinse several times in the dark. Yes, Mike, great idea. Now, once your film is wound and it's soaking wet, you don't want to leave it wound for too long, right? Do you then transfer it to another Morse tank to process, or what do you do from there? Because you can't leave it stored like that. Just ask Travis. T20 Bell & Howell T20. That's a fixed focus, right? I think so, yeah. Seller does not say when the film was made. The copyright on the label, Bonnie, you're talking about, right? On the, like the copyright date on the front of the label says 2023. If so, then probably is a good safe bet. Yes, I got you, Mike. But what do you do with the, what do you do with it when it's soaking wet? So obviously you can't load it in the camera when it's wet. So how do you dry it when it's stuck on the spool? That would be my biggest concern, how to dry. I know how to dry it after it's been processed. Oh, you dry it in the dark. So do you just hang it in a dark room or something? That's a good idea. See, I don't have that luxury here because I have a very small house and everything I do is back there in that little bathroom. Yeah, hang it, okay. And I can't hang, I don't know if I could hang 100 feet in there. It's not very big. Okay. One thing I want to ask, do you guys have, and Nisi on here, you guys will see him, but he mentioned it to me and it got me thinking, we used to have them here in the 80s and 90s, but we don't have them anymore. Yeah, it is nice to have a dark basement. We don't have those in Florida. That would be called a pool. Camera shows, but analog camera shows. There's just hardly any of them available here anymore, or like little conventions, or stuff like that where you can go swap, trade, buy older, used, outside of just flea markets or swap shops or something like that. I miss the good old fashioned. I used to go sometimes. They'd be in a hotel ballroom or something where they convert to a convention of analog stuff. I can't find any of that here anymore. Yeah, you got to just take a deep breath, radios, and go film it. Barry, I think you're right. There's not hardly any of them here in Florida. There used to be. That's when, when that's all we had, but not anymore. Yeah, I wish there was. But anyway, if you guys hear of any over here on the east side, let me know. Would be nice if there was one, where we could all meet up and have a cool, meet up at a camera convention or something. Yeah, everything is online, Jeffrey. You're right. It's almost like missing video stores. I miss being able to go and touch the cameras and, it's fun. It's fun. See, Nisi. See, what he's talking about right there. They have at least 2 of them every year. Large ones. That's what we need. We need something big. We need one maybe on the West Coast, one on the East Coast, and a couple in the middle, and you know, something we can have fun with. Lucky to have that 2 out of 4. We have a flea market here, the Daytona Beach Flea Market. It's huge, huge. It's one of the biggest ones in Florida. And there's a little camera shop in there called Clem's Cameras, and he's all analog. And it's a great little camera shop, but it's really overpriced. Really overpriced. I kind of quit going there. I bought a few things from him, but it's really expensive. It's hard, it's very difficult to beat online prices now, sadly. Could work out. Yeah, you're right, Russell. Hands-on, safest way to buy. It is. All right, I want to show you guys something. Yeah, I know. I just wish I had the option, though, Nisi. If I build it, they will come. Filmboy24 con. Yeah. I'm trying to do Filmboy24's first film festival. FPP talked about having one in Ohio once a year that they go to. I wouldn't even mind that. I have family in Indiana next door, so yeah. I would probably go to Ohio and check it out. I quit going there too. Russell always seems grumpy and it's not fun to talk to. Quit going there too. I miss something. I quit going there too, Russell. Always seems grumpy and... Oh! Are you talking about at the Daytona Flea Market? Yeah. It was weird, that one. They have tons and tons of analog gear in there. It's just a little shop and it's overly packed. But yeah. But Clem died and now it was taken over by one of the guys that used to work at Beach Photo, and I'm talking to you, Travis. Used to work at Beach Photo on Main Street there. He now owns Russ, I think. Yeah, Russell, you just mentioned that. He is grouchy. He's very grouchy, and that's not good when you're talking to us old guys that like old cameras. Okay, I want to show you guys what I was talking about. Let me find the picture. Yeah, not you, Russell. The other Russell. And that confused me for a second. Hey Ken, thanks for popping in. Do you have any books explaining how credits and titles were filmed and transferred before we switched to computer editing? You know, I don't. Well, I say I don't. I do have a special effects, a Super 8 special effects book, and can't remember where it's at, but it's a neat little hardback book, and it shows. They used to have titlers. Remember, you mount your camera, and then you would have a titler, which was basically just a stand that held some paper or clear or whatever, and you just put letters on it, and your camera just filmed either through the clear, acetate or onto a white piece of paper, and you did your credits. I did that late in the 80s, early 90s with VHS. I would literally just film pieces. I would it's almost like stop motion. You would write the next letter, film, write the next letter, film. But Ken, that's a good question. I've kind of always wondered, specifically how they do titles and overlays and things like that. But I know a lot of it had to do with transparencies. And I have to try to find that book, and maybe I'll post that on my community tab. I don't think I brought that up during my 15 book that I had. Yeah, the stores in Tokyo, there's a lot of them there. Yeah, the prices. I had one of those, Mike, and that's exactly what I was talking about to Ken. The Bolex had probably the most popular one. It looked like a big rail, like a rail system, and you could slide that titler back and forth closer and farther away from the camera that was mounted on the other end. It's a camera store in Sweden is trying to sell a Hasselblad made for the space shuttle mission for 2 million Swedish kroner crowns, or about $200,000. Jump on it, Bonnie. I'm kidding. I don't know anything about those. but I'd say that's probably a little overpriced. Hey Manny, hello from Arizona. Nice and cool there, huh? I love the looks of those letterboard plastic letter. Yeah, those are really cool. When you poke them in. Yeah, it's kind of like the signs, you know, in the diner. You know, Coca-Cola, 50 cents. The old days. You have a Tyler. I do too for my 150. This. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. Back here in the dust. I have this too. Radios mention the Titler. Yes, it's dusty. I have the other part. That's the filter holder. But you would mount your camera right here. This is for the 150, which is down there. The camera snaps on here. You squeeze these pins together, put the camera on, let go, and your camera's mounted, and then you have your titles right here. They stick in right here, this little slot, and you can move this closer and farther away. This is sort of a miniature what they were just talking about. This is a Bolex one here too. I forgot I had that. My dad taught me to animate letters for 8mm. That's awesome, Mike. Ladies, remove your hats. Hey, there's Train Guy. How are you, my friend? I just started being a fan of this channel. I'm saving up to my first Bolex 16mm camera in 1959. Do you own a Bolex like it? I do own a couple Bolexes. I have this one here, Train Guy, and that is a Bolex Reflex 1. I don't know the year. I guess I could look it up. But I love these little Bolex H16 cameras, and I think you're going to love them as well. They're so easy to use, and they're, you know, for all intents and purposes, they're maintenance free. You should probably get them maintained, but they're just fantastic cameras, amazing cameras. Lyle, where you been? Sorry you're late. That's all right. You missed. Oh, you should have seen it. We had dancing girls. We had fireworks. We had a little mishap at the beginning. So you're really not that late. This is the third time I've had to restart this stream. I had to stop and reboot my whole Wi-Fi system. Yeah, I'm gonna use one later. Okay, those Hasselblads have some crazy moon landing hoax stuff attached. Not that I'm a conspiracy theory guy. Yeah, those Hasselblads, but they are expensive. There was one guy here in Sweden trying to sell an H16 reflex, like 5,000. Now it's 29. I cannot believe how much they're asking for Bolex H16s now. I mean, I am just. It's insane how much they ask for them now. I had an H16 Rex 5 with two 400-foot mags, MST motor, the magazine motor, the tripod. I even had a Nagra 4 tape recorder with it, you know, the mag stock recorder with it and everything. I paid $1,000 for everything. Now this was in 1991, I think, and I, like an idiot, ended up selling it a couple years later. You can't touch that whole kit there for less than about $4,000 or $5,000 now. It's ridiculous. I paid $300 and something for my Rex 1 back there. The Bolex one I'm looking at has a single lens, not a turret. So that might be the Supreme. Is it a Bolex Supreme or the Reporter? I may have the one lens. I can't remember. But I honestly, Train Guy, you can't go. I just don't think you can go wrong with those H16s. Reflex, non-reflex. The non-reflex ones are a lot less expensive. If you're just getting started, you might think about that. So in other words, when you're looking through the viewfinder, you're not actually looking through the lens. You're just looking kind of it's, what do they call that? Parallax. Do you mind if I ask what they're asking for it, Train Guy? Came across 100 feet of, whoa. Something wrong with the, text. 100 feet of trick blends today. You know those tacky 2-second moving shapes you can put between scenes? Yes. That's funny. Did you get it? I think the Teleflex Bolexes are a bit overrated. Just see through a taking lens. Teleflex Bolexes. What? I'm not sure what those are. Are you talking about the non-reflex where you can look down, or are you talking about the reflex ones? Oh, reflex. Duh. Yeah, I know what you mean. The reflex Bolexes are a bit overrated. Lots more money just to see them. And you have a little bit of speed loss with them as well, because you lose a little bit of light, Mike. There's a lot to be said about just having a good old-fashioned non-reflex, honestly. Easy to change out the viewfinders if something goes wrong. That's funny. I just thought your notification system is on steroids. Yeah, Lyle, I know. The Bolex I found was $265 with a pistol grip and a tiny 16mm lens with no film, though. That's non-reflex, of course, a trained guy, and I would say that's probably not a bad deal as long as it runs. Make sure the spring, I would just make sure that the spring is good and strong in it, the motor. Sending my Rex 5 to get CLA'd, very smart. Are you sending it to, who are you sending it to? Dual? Who do we send those to now? I know you did, Radios. I remember the broken one. The M series. Yeah, maybe it's an M series, Bonnie. I don't know. 1,200 to get a lens. Yeah, I know. You ended up with about 3,000 for everything. Train guy, that lens you have that's coming on it might be just a standard 25mm lens. That was pretty common for those, which is a good lens. And the good thing about the non-reflex Bolexes is you don't need those R lenses or the reflex lenses, and you can get any of those little Paylard lenses a lot cheaper than you can the reflex ones. Yeah, I don't think he's got an EBM for 265 though, Mike. But you're right. The M probably, yeah. Could we get a closer look at your Rex 1 because it looks a lot like mine. I don't have a lot of info on mine. Sure, Russell. Give me a second. Let me try to fish it out of here. It's dusty. I have a couple of goofy lenses on it now. I have this Canon 1.4, f1.4 50mm, and then this Lightar Berthiaut lens on it right now. This is a 25mm. But there's mine. And by the way, I did put the flat base on it. I bought this flat base on eBay. It does have the round base, so it won't stand up on its own without this plate on the bottom of it. That's mine right there. You guys see that, right? The viewfinder is not real bright. That's one thing I do not like about it. But it's just a great camera. Super strong. Little cold shoe on top. Open it up. Inside. I know it's not real. I'm trying to look at the early ones like this. The ones, they have this feed system right here. You see those two guides right there? A lot of the later ones don't have that. I really love this little camera, and I probably will never get rid of it, even if I get a bigger one or a better Bolex camera. I don't know if I'll ever get rid of this. It's in mint condition, and I've always kept it real nice. And I've had it for a few years. I've had a whole bunch of these H16s, probably a dozen of them in my life, and I love them. I have two more. I have an H8 and an H16 non-reflex up there on my shelf. They both have issues. The H16 they both run fine. The H8 is in bad shape. It needs the pull down. The claw doesn't work very well, and it's all messed up. I tried to take it apart, but it was a nightmare, so it didn't work too well. Is there anything specifically you want to see? Sure. Oh, you did buy it. Okay, good. Yeah, I knew what you meant, Mike. Yeah, tiny keyboard. Are you watching on your phone? You ever shot sound recording film? I have shot tons of sound recording film Super 8, but never on 16. I've shot double system. I've shot on 16 millimeter using my Aeroflex 16S and my CP16. But as far as Super 8, yes, I've shot tons of sound film in Super 8 a long time ago. The friend I was at the fair with today had a Bolex X16 with 4 lenses for sale today. I think he was asking 6. That's not bad. If it was a, I wonder which one it was, Nisi. Robert Ditto in Arkansas. Yeah, Ditto in Arkansas. Dr. Bolex here in Arizona does good work. I've heard good things about Dr. Bolex, Manny. They're a little behind, are they not? Not that it matters. That's good. We need people that can work on Bolexes. You know, radios, I could use some more R lenses. In fact, I don't know if I have any, to be honest with you. These seem to work okay. Train guy, in my hometown where I live, at home I have only $16 in my pocket, so I'm desperate to get the money to snatch it up before it's gone. Do not do anything illegal. Kidding. Well, I'm not kidding, but I'm only making a joke. Yes, that sounds like a good deal, though. I think he had a total of 5 RX lenses, 3 C mount, 2 D mount. Wow. Yeah, that's good money. That would be good money. It does look identical to mine. Even the flat plate is the same. Yeah, this just screws on this flat base right here. I got it really cheap on eBay, but they go for a lot now. The plate. Double perf. It'll shoot either because there's only one row. This will do either, Mike. Yeah, there's only one row of perfs in here, so you can shoot double or single perf in it. You can tell if your Bolex will only do double perf film, which some will, the really early ones. Your rollers, your drive rollers here, this one and this one, they will have perforations on the bottom and the top. If you only have perforations, the little points on the bottom of the rollers, that means you can shoot double or single perf film. And that's good because I have a lot of both. The Bolex viewfinder is like looking through the light. It is bad, Barry. Unless you get that 14 times one, which I don't have because you can't put it on this one. But yeah, it's hard. I'm embarrassed to say that I have about 15. Oh wow, Mike, don't be embarrassed. Unload them though. Unload them and get an Aeroflex. I also own a 1980 Chinon 12 SMR that I bought. Husband died and it was his camera. Still has his home address written on it. Wow. I love Chinon cameras, by the way, train guy. I have a bunch. I have a 200/8 SMR, which is an amazing camera. I have a 60, a 40, and then my 20 PXL, and then a 132 that I now deemed my Kodacam because the meter is stuck and it overexposes everything terribly. 132 PXL, but I love Chinon cameras. I've had them for years. So you can't go wrong with that. As long as it runs, train guy, then I would hang on to that one. The Chinon is a little, they don't get the credit they deserve, I don't think. For the price you have to pay, which is not a lot. You have 4 H8s. I wish I had a good working H8, Mike. Hint, hint. I'll ask him which one it is. Yeah, I'm curious to know, Nisi. Ditto does great work. I had mine fixed by him. That's Dr. Bolex, right? Yeah. Haunted object. The only double perforation was the original. Yeah, maybe you're right, Bonnie. I know it was really early on. Yeah, Russell, are you familiar with that site, the Bolex site, where you can look? It's close. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but it's close. Where you can plug your serial number in, and it tells you which model you have. That's a plan. I'd love to get an Airy. Yes, get an Airy. What about 50D film in a Chinon that says 25D or? Yes, you could shoot 50D in a Chinon. You're not going to find too many Super 8 cameras that you can't shoot 50D in, because most all of them were made for 25/40 speed film. So, like I say earlier, you're only going to overexpose it, and just barely. So that's not going to hurt it at all. Well, now I might have to, train guy. I do. Let me try. Is there anybody that can look that up? It's Bolex something. Yeah, for serial numbers. You plug in your serial number, or you just look. There's a guide. You just look. Your serial number will fall within a certain range, and it tells you which camera you have. I don't remember the name of the site. If somebody doesn't post it on here, then I will look it up here in a minute. But let me show you guys this. This is what happened. I'll see what happens. You probably see it first, Mike. Yeah, well, we'll see. You let me know, radios. I want to show you guys what happens when I processed. Somebody asked if Bolex Collector. That's it, Bonnie. Try bolexcollector.com, I believe. All right, look at this photo. This is why I didn't post this video. By the way, that's a tree in my backyard. That was one of the better clips that came out of my 16mm 100D, Ektachrome 100D 7285 that I shot in my Super 16 K3 and processed in my Morse tank. So you can see why I did not post a video. It's extremely dense. I didn't do something right. I don't know if the temperature just didn't stay consistent, or I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I may not give up yet. Yeah, there might be a ghost. Is there a ghost in there? Travis, if there is, you'll know. I don't know. Probably haunted. We have a haunted tree. So that was my experience with so far. See, I wanted to try E6 in a Morse tank because you can do 100 feet of 16mm with only 1 liter of chemicals. 1 liter just kind of barely covers it, but you're good with 1 liter. If you do 100 feet of 16mm in the big tanks, the Lomo type tanks, it takes a minimum of 2 liters. And E6 chemicals is expensive. So I didn't, I wanted to see if I could do that. Let me put my Bolex back up here. I gotta be careful because this shelves fell once. And it wasn't pretty. My Chinon 200/8 hit the ground. I also recently found a Pathé 16mm camera in eBay. For $4,000. That's a lot. That's too much for a Pathé 16, I think. I have a Pathé double 8 or double Super 8, but that's a lot, train guy. Haunted cameras. Found an RCA 16mm optical sound 16mm camera a few days ago. Did you get it, Bonnie? You always find the deals. I know, Mike, less chemistry. That's what I was hoping for, but something didn't work. It's so hard to get the times right when you're winding a Morse tank. It's times and temperatures. I did ECN2 in it, and it came out not terrible, but I kept it kind of the tank submerged in my water, in my hot water, and I think that helped. But I know I didn't get the times right on it, so. Dream camera. I'd like to have an Arri 416. That's my dream camera, or just a really good working BL3 35mm Aeroflex. But I'd settle for an Aton 16 millimeter, Super 16. But a wrist workout, yeah. I think it came out to about 90 times back and forth. And you can't stop, because if you stop, then you're going to have a hot spot in it. That recorded sound to regular 8. Oh, nice. Want to get it, but it's too much for me now. Still saving up to get. Yeah, those Lomo tank. Those are what they're asking for those now is crazy. 1956. So I guess that's mine too, huh? That's cool, Russell. Rimjet IMAX 65 millimeter camera. Yeah. I'd love to shoot some videos at 16 millimeter and Super 8, but I don't have the good life of money to do so. I can do one at a time. Choosing what format to follow for a while, then move on. You should. I would start with Super 8. Although you don't want to process it, right? Train guy. I mean, Super 8 at 16. Honestly, there isn't a ton of cost difference anymore. But you might even look at regular 8 from the FPP. But you need to get a regular 8 camera. They sell 100-foot links at a time, and regular 8 is twice as long because you flip it over and shoot the other side. I want the Bell & Howell Telesonic projector with a remote. Yeah, that'd be nice. I'd like an Arri 35BL2 2 perf. Yeah, that would be nice, Barry. That would be nice. How did you develop Super 8? Oh, I didn't. I've had a Lomo tank for quite a while, Abel. But now I won't say I didn't. I did do some in my Patterson tank, and I would just cut strips and I would kind of work it around the reels a little bit, so it would try to stay separated. To do the best I could to figure it out, and then I would scan it on my flatbed. It was a mess. And then I got the Wolverine, the 720p model, and scanned some there. But I've had my Lomo tanks for a long time. I've already gone through one, and it's got little cracks and breaks in it, but I haven't gotten rid of it yet, because I may use it as a template to maybe try to design my own one of these years. Train guy yet? No, I need to find a guy that can do it for me in my. Where are you at? What area are you in the States? I'm not even sure where you're at, train guy. Saw a Mitchell 70 millimeter camera fully restored for $39,000. I don't even know what those truly go for, Bonnie. They're not that common, so that might be a good idea. I mean, a good deal. The closest place that can do it is the Cardiff, South Wales. Oh, you're not anywhere near me. Okay. I was gonna say if you're near Florida, I can do a roll or two for you, but I just finished this roll right here in my Aeroflex 16S. I started it in March and then kind of forgot about it. It's just something I wanted to mention real quick. So I'm going to process this hopefully relatively soon. 7276. This is a Plus X. A great little film. It's a very slow speed film, and you guys know I love Plus X, and it is fine grain. So hopefully, and I tried to overexpose it a little bit because I process as a negative, and this is a reversal film. So hopefully we get something halfway decent out of that. Dip the outside of the Lomo tank in epoxy. Yeah, the outside of the tank is fine. It's the spirals. And I have a little cracked piece, and yeah, it's kind of a mess. But I do have another one that I use almost daily. This sounds cooler. I don't know, pound sounds kind of cool too. In North Wales, so yeah, you're a good bit from me. I don't do a lot of neutral density filters. I should, because that's what you should be doing, Jeffrey. I'm sure you do. Just Tri-X for me today. Tri-X is a great film. It's just grainy. What do you guys do with these? It's a question I've been wanting to ask. What do you guys do with these? Everyone has them. If you're an analog junkie like me, you have them, no doubt. And I have tons of these. I want to buy the 3P. I just don't trust them. I don't trust them either, Mike. I've seen some bad reviews on those. Now, I'm not saying they don't work. I actually have a 3D printer, but it's still in the box, and it's not a great one. My brother gave me his. He never even opened it. Oh, SD cards. Nice. You know what? I'm writing that down. SD cards. I use them for, I have a toolkit that for, you know, repairing cameras and lenses and things, and I use them for springs and little screws and things like that. But are there other uses you guys use? Make a string of novelty Christmas lights from the clear. Ooh! Oh, there's Katie. Hey, I don't know if I said hi to you. I didn't even know you were here. But how are you? Thanks for jumping in. That's a clever idea. Christmas lights, huh? I gotta write that down. Christmas lights. I have so many of those things. These. We were doing, my wife just had a bunch of these. I gave her a bunch of the black ones, and she put them all in like a little basket, and we would put little surprises in, like a dozen of them. And then every now and then we'd take it out, and the girls would each pick one out and open them, you know. Kind of fun. Manny says, I would love to have a Niso heliomatic. What? I'm not sure what that is, Manny. I mean, it sounds cool. I want one now. If it's Niso, I want it. But I'm not familiar with that. One is used as my viewfinder cover on my K3. Ooh, another good idea. I used one for something similar to that, but I can't remember what it was. But I do use a piece of one. Remember, I don't know if you guys ever saw that video where I took a Patterson reel and I made it fit 16mm film. So you can process about 5 feet of 16mm in a Patterson tank with a simple modification to one of your reels. But I did cut a strip of this out of there as a spacer. That's a good idea. A K3 cover. Always keep them to store small screws. Yeah, Nisi, that's what I do now. I keep screws in my kits. Looking on, I guess that's for bulk loading for $8 and less than 2 hours left. How many are there though, Bonnie? $8? That's not bad. Just, you know, 3 or 4 of them. Put your weed in there. Put my weed in there. Says no. We need more cowbell. Good. Just joined a few minutes ago. Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, Katie. It's always nice when you're here. I think I'm going to go shoot some TV video Ektachrome film next week. Anyone had any experience? That's VNF film, right, Russell? It's funny you mentioned that. I just got some. It's in there. 7242 is what I have. I have a lot of video news film. I've only shot a tiny bit of it. I shot some in Super 8, and I processed it in ECN2, and they don't recommend it, but the colors came out halfway decent. They were shifted pretty good, but you could fix that. But if that's what you're using, or that's what you're referencing, then I just process it in ECN2, any of my VNF film, video news film. It was a weird process that it's not around anymore, and there are a couple people that have, you know, duplicated it, and I'm sure you could. There's just sometimes there's some processes that I just don't feel like getting involved in because the chemicals are a little too wonky or caustic or dangerous that I just don't mess with it. I don't want formaldehyde in my house. There's some things I'd just rather keep it more simple and do more on the digital end as far as correcting than messing with the chemical end. So I'm not the guy for funky processes. Like Adrian Cousins, he does a lot of that. He's good at recreating different types of processes and things. I stick to the 4 or 5 main processes. Loading cells for test strips. That's a good idea, Remjet, because they are totally, oh, that's a great idea. They're totally light proof. They have to be, right? Yeah, test strips. Nice. I use black bags, but I have to double them up because they're not fully light proof. Okay, got it. Giant squibs. That would hurt. Oh, that would hurt. Change holder. There you go. That's not a bad idea. There is. Oh, that's a good deal, Bonnie. That's a pretty good deal. There's 12 of them. The reloadable, I have 3, I think, but I keep a lot of the old 35 millimeter because I pull the film myself and cut it and just leave a little tiny bit, and then you can just tape new film onto it. I have some VNF too, just haven't shot any. I have a ton of VNF, tons of it. In fact, I have some down right here, I think. Check this out. That's only 100 feet, but this stuff. I know if Dave Knopf was here, he'd be making fun of me now for... He always makes fun of me for having all this film underneath my desk here. I have this compartment under here, and it's got tons of film, thousands of feet of film underneath me. Yes, my freezer is completely full. I can't fit it in my freezer. Are you not reloading your own still film? I do. I just have so much still film already. I don't know if you're talking to me, Lyle, but yes. I do reload my own still film. I love buying 100-foot rolls of Fomapan 100 or 200. That's just one of my all-time favorite black and white films. If you guys have never shot Fomapan 100 or 200 Creative, I think they call it, it's such a beautiful stock. I sometimes use them as, okay, yeah, I saw that. Okay, yeah, I don't know where I'm at here. 7240 and 7250. I processed some 72 for Travis, for the Alchemist there. What was that I processed for you, Travis? That was, we did it in black and white. Hold on, I'm going to pull it up right now. It was 7255 Ektachrome commercial film. I did it in black and white, and it came out pretty nice, actually. I've shot 7240 in Super 8, Russell, not shot 7250. And the 7240, I say I shot it, I did not shoot it. It was found film. Excuse me. It was found film, and it came out pretty decent in ECN2. And was there rimjet on it? No, I don't believe 7240 has any rimjet, but I can't. I'm going to tell you in 1 second if I have it listed on my sheet here. I didn't put it on here, so I don't remember. Maybe somebody knows. I can't remember if 7240 has remjet or not. It was a regular 8mm Canon, beautiful camera, came with engine. Wow, Manny, I want one now too. I've got some mysterious Farina VNF. Well, then let's get it shot. Remjet, you should know the answer to that question. Does 7240 have remjet? Let me see if I can find it in the annals of my. Okay, right there. That's when I processed it. 7240, no rimjet. Okay, good. Well, that's good to know. 7240 has no rimjet. This chat, it's just, I'm sorry guys, it got away from me. Camera meetup, shot glasses or Jello shots? Jeffrey. Shot. I don't drink really, but I would do shot glasses. I would have a shot if everybody else was, but I don't drink much at all. I don't know that I've had, 12 ounces of alcohol this year yet. Does anybody use Video Fred script for what is that now? Anybody use Video Fred script for post? No, but now I'm interested. I keep hearing that Fomapan 200 scratches easily. It's funny you bring that up. I bought a 100-foot roll, but I didn't use it for a long time. I got it from Adorama, and I loaded it in my bulk loader, and I started, I don't know, I made up like 4 or 5 rolls, 24 exposure. I like using 24. And then I shot it, and then I didn't process it right away, and then I did process it, and there's a horizontal scratch along, or I don't know if it's a scratch or what it is, but it's definitely a defect along the top, probably about, I'm looking at my screen, about right here in the frame, but it goes all the way down. And it was in every roll I did, and I was very upset about it. But it was already way too late to send it back. I'd already used it and everything, and it had been months and months since I bought it. So I actually still have that one spooled up, and I use that for testing cameras. But I have not heard that it scratches easily, but I just love the look of it. I mean, you got to kind of be careful with it. Looking at a roll of FOMA R100 as a 100-foot bulk roll. That would be a good bet right there, Bonnie. Yes, Katie, FOMApan fan. It is affordable. That's the other good thing about it. There's some cool, like Kentmere. You guys ever use Kentmere film? There's some affordable ones out there. Not scratches. What you mean is character. That's it. Imagine me showing up to a huge event of any kind, like an air show or vintage car event. You see all modern DSLR cameras. Then here I go with a 1959 Bolex H16M with 3 minutes. You know, it's funny, Train Guy. I think of that every time I take one of my cameras out. I do get a lot of people, oh, that's a cool camera. No matter which one I have. Great, I'll have a go. Always a risk with expireds. I'm just up for fun. Yeah, it's fun, but I would overexpose it a little bit, Russell. And then once in a while, talk to me about that. Yeah, Barry. Running some FOMApan Double Super 8 100R. Looking forward to seeing what comes out. Are you going to post that on your channel, Manny? I'd like to see it too. I'm with you with my Rex. Yeah, especially radios if you got your 400-foot mag on it. Talk about the looks. No one would care back in the 70s, you know, but now it's amazing. You're definitely not one for being incognito. Doom 9. I have heard of Doom 9, Abel. I have never used it, though. Wish that FOMA made R100 available as 400-foot 16mm roll. That would be cool. Yeah. Oh, you don't have the mag, so it won't matter. Still big, though. I want to show you guys really quick. The last video I did was the alternate E3. I'm E6. E3. I need more coffee. But I want to show you. Somebody mentioned, why didn't you do before and after shots of it? And I should have probably. But you see, when I scanned the roll of film, I did some adjusting in the scanner software already, so it wasn't truly ungraded in my original scan, but mostly. So I decided to do a before and after to show you guys real quick. I have a couple of pictures I want to show you. I did the best I could with the grading. And I know most of you on here have seen my last video. It isn't perfect, and I did overdo the greens. And I probably did that because the reds and the magenta was so bad that I got a little heavy-handed with it. I understand that. But here's the side-by-side. Well, it's a split screen. What do you call it? It's one frame, but half of it is, you'll know. Here it is. So the left side is the original, and you see I kind of split my wife in half there. The right side is my finished, and here is another clip of more closer on her face of the flesh tones. Left side is before any color grading. The right side is my final look. So I didn't put this in my finished video. I guess I probably should have. But you can see what it takes to get, you know, to kind of try to get as close as you can. So that was that. I've been kind of wanting to show the difference between that. And again, I'm not by any means an expert at color grading, but I did the best I could with that particular film. And it already wasn't, I mean, it needed a lot of help out of the box. You know what I want to do, though? I want to project it, because it's positive, it's a reversal. So I want to project it and see what that looks like projected. Katie, been wanting to get a scanner for my 35mm, still negatives. And I love, Katie, and I've had it for a long time, my Epson V600. The 500 is a great scanner too, or 550, I think it is. I would like to get the 700. It just has a wider scan range, but I love my V600. Now, some people don't like the flatbed scanners. I've used them for years and years and years, but I would highly recommend that Epson Perfection V600. Where can I find 60mm film? Because eBay gives me a very little of one. Well, you're in Wales. That's tough. I mean, I don't know if you can order direct. I don't think you can order from Kodak direct from Kodak. So that's the tough ask, Train Guy. I'm just not sure. Anybody have any suggestions in the Wales area where Train Guy could get some 16mm film? What's your favorite film stocks in color, negative, positive, black and white negative, and black and white positive? Woo! Bonnie, that's a really good question. There's no doubt in my mind 50D Vision 3 is my, or Vision 2 and 50D is my all-time favorite color negative stock. But if you're talking about still film, like 35mm still film, that's a good question. I mean, who doesn't love Portra? I love Portra 160. Still have a bulk roll of it in my freezer for color reversal. I'm sorry, negative. Still film. Fomapan is probably one of my, it's probably my favorite. Fomapan 100 for black and white. I love Plus X if it comes to Cinefilm for black and white. Any of the Plus X stocks, they don't make anymore, is my all-time favorite black and white film. Foma is good, and yeah, it's relatively inexpensive. My favorite color 35mm film, shoot, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I haven't shot it in a long time. It's extremely expensive. Help me out, guys. It's right. I'm having a brain fart. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here. Shoot, what? Come on, Mike. Ektar. Why was I brain farting on Ektar? Yeah. By far probably the greatest film I've ever shot in 35mm was Ektar. What's FPP? Film Photography Project. They're online, Train Guy, and they have a lot of stuff on there. Yeah, Katie just answered that. Whitner. Try Whitner, Train Guy. That's a good suggestion, Manny. Whitner.com, I think it is, or I don't know. Just Google Whitner. Yeah, Wales, UK. Analog Wonderland for 16mm. Analog Wonderland, there you go. Whitner is putting out 8mm and 16mm in Europe. And they're reasonably priced, if I'm not mistaken, right, Manny? Direct from Foma, only black and white reversal, positive, FPP, or just BH photo as someone in Sweden. B&H is a huge site for all things photography and film. Frame24, UK Kodak reseller. Nice, thank you, Rumjet. It's in New Jersey, yes. FPP has a good supply of stuff. They put out these vanity stocks too. They relabel them. It's kind of neat. They have all kinds of funky film stocks. and mortar store. Okay, easy. Oh, I love this. You guys are giving him suggestions. That's awesome. Fuji Superior Realo 100 for me. Great film, Superior. Travis, I know, likes Superior. .com or UK? I don't know, Train Guy. Here in the States, Mono No Aware, excellent prices. About the same as Kodak, to be honest, Manny. Yes. FEP just restocked all their color film. Woo! Discover Mono No Aware. It's a real B&H customer story. Radios. How many times have we seen that ad? Gauge Film. Do they sell, Remjet, do they sell film? I didn't know if they sold it or just scanned it. I guess they sell it. Gauge Film. Also great. What else did I want to tell you guys about? Oh, some film stock I got. Have you guys ever seen this? Anyone? DuPont. I mean, we all know DuPont. They did make film stock. I just got this a couple days ago. Have you guys ever seen that? It's a panchromatic, black and white. Pretty slow speed, medium speed for the time. 80. It depends on if you're going to process it as a reversal or a negative. 1959 was the process before date. Now I haven't opened this, so I don't know if maybe this has been shot already, but it is still tape sealed. Black and white film. It looks pretty awesome, to be honest. I can't wait to try it. I may try to shoot it in my 1926 or 24, my 100-year-old Bell & Howell camera. You guys remember that one, right? My 70A model. I don't even know if it was an A model. This is a 70. But this is really a neat. I love getting these really obscure stocks to try out, and this is an oldie. We'll see. I don't know. I just thought, and it also came with some old Ansco stock right here. Again, this might be. I think there's only 50 feet in there, but that might be. That might be exposed too. I don't know. You guys can't really see the name on it. Yeah, maybe you can. Yeah. Anyway. Certain exposures. Look who's live. Well, thank you for popping in. Woo! Look who's live. You got 2 of those? What? 2 of these radios? You got 2 of what? 2 of those? Have you shot them? I don't know. Maybe you guys are talking about something else. Boy, this coffee is cold. Never works. Where are we at? Hour and 12 minutes?
You want me to heat your coffee? Is that what you're trying to say?
Would you, my love? She's so awesome. That's my wife. She hits that coffee for 30 seconds for me, heats it right up. Certain exposures. Oh, the 70As. Okay. Yeah, why was I thinking you had 2 of those? I haven't looked into this much. If we suddenly lost chemistry manufacturers, we'd be able to make ECN2 developers stop, bleach, and fix from scratch. I make all my. I don't know if you can make it from scratch. I mean, I buy the raw powders, but I don't know if that's what you mean. Do you mean if the people that make the kits suddenly quit making the kits? I don't know. I make my own kits, but I don't know if you could make. What would you? I don't know how you would do it if we didn't have the chemicals. I don't know. That's a good question. Thank you so much. Oh, she's so awesome. I ended Superior 16mm. What is that? I ended up ended up with, I think you're trying to say. Autocorrect. Some 16 Superior, I don't know what that is. Superior 16mm stock. Reversal. I like any 16mm stock. I bought a whole bunch of Kodachrome 16mm a couple days ago, $100, and I got almost 40 rolls, like 39 rolls of it. But I honestly wanted it for 16mm, by the way, 100-foot rolls. But I wanted it just for the cans and the daylight spools, if nothing else. I mean, if Kodak, Arista, Technol, Ilford, etc., all went bankrupt, is there a public recipe for everything? You can buy raw chemicals to fixer. Yes, you could definitely make up ECN2. I do all my own ECN2. In fact, I put a list in the description of my ECN2 video of exactly what I use. There's not a lot that you need, but for me it's the bleach and the developer. But yeah, the fixer, you can definitely get the chemicals for that. I have a pretty good back stock of powdered fixer right now, but you can get all the chemicals for that for sure. Yes. And like I said, it's not exactly the same. It's not the exact Kodak chemicals. It's not everything that they use, but it works well enough for me, especially when you, with ECN2, well, Vision 3 stock was meant to be transferred anyway. All Vision stock was meant to be transferred, not projected. So it's meant to be color graded and everything anyway. So as long as you can get really, really close, which I think I can get really, really close, then yeah, I'm not worried about ECN2 at all. There are lots of recipes on YouTube, yes. Wish I could show photos, but I don't know. Can you not show photos? Oh yeah, I don't think you can on here. Thanks. I figured I should start trying this sooner than later. Yeah, it's so easy to do, to be honest. Well, as long as you can get the chemicals. I don't remember where you're at. If you're in the U.S., you can get the chemicals pretty easily. I make up 2-liter batches of powder. Superior Bulk Film Company in Chicago. Yeah, they had a tank as well, a Super 8 tank, Mike. How do you order directly from FOMA? I don't see a store on their website. Yeah, I don't know how, but Bonnie might. Curious, but negative stock. Okay, I'm just gonna negative. Okay, yeah, send it to me. People have made developer out of. Yeah, I know, Remjet. That's not for me. People make developer out of everything. I've seen it out of tea leaves, and I mean, coffee is one thing, but man, beer, it make it out of everything, I guess. But you can't. I think you need other chemicals with it, don't you? Don't you need vitamin C or powder and stuff like that? Well, I know you do for caffeinol, but man, I've seen some crazy things. Basil, you know. I think you have to get FOMA from a dealer. And DuPont 932A? Yeah, 930A I have, DuPont. I should buy Super 8 soon. I keep procrastinating. Get it, Jeffrey, get it. Beer wasted. Beer wasted. I don't really drink beer too much, but in fact, we had one. My wife doesn't drink at all. She went and did one of those Tough Mudder where you run through the mud and under obstacles and everything. They gave her a beer bottle, aluminum can of beer. Everybody got one at the end. We put it in my fridge, and it was there for so long, I finally threw it out. Mag Stripe 16mm film. I have some right there. Remjet, or is it Remjet? No, Mike. Yes, old. I have several rolls of 400-foot rolls of Mag Stripe 16mm. Yeah, it does depend on what you drink. That's an interesting approach. I'm hoping to get results comparable to true ECN2. Yeah, I think I get relatively close results out of my ECN2 mix. Good enough to where I don't buy the ready-made kits anymore. I used to buy the ones from Cinestill, and I just don't anymore. It's cost me about $7, just under $7 to make a 1-liter kit of developer and bleach. So once you add the fixer in there, maybe another $1 tops. So it cost me about between $7 and $8 for 1 liter of mix for ECN2. Student of mine did a surf fashion film on 16 and develop it. Yeah, that's what I mean, Russell. It's crazy how much stuff that they people develop with now. Beer would have been gone at you. Russ, radios. It's not that I don't. I just I don't drink much. My wife doesn't drink, so I don't really drink a lot. I mean, it's not that I'm against it. I'll have a beer every now and then, or a shot of something, but I just don't. It does nothing for me really much. Oh, there's Kevin. Guys, do me a favor and make fun of that guy, Kevin Alligood. Oh, God. He's a good friend of mine. Hi, Dad. It's your daughter and Maddie. Oh, that's... You guys, I don't know if you don't see my other daughter, Katerina, very often, but she's with her buddy right now. She's with her friend. Oh, it's Kat and Maddie. Hi, Kat and Maddie. So it's not Kevin, so don't make fun of them. Hi, Kat and Maddie. You guys just made it because I'm getting ready to end. It's been almost an hour and a half. Non-drinker here as well. Yeah, Mike. Not that I don't have anything against it. I just don't personally do it. I try to see it's available publicly. Yeah, if it is, I'd like to see it too, Russell. That would be interesting. Kat and Maddie. Hi, Kat and Maddie. Daggy does have a channel where she does a lot of those weird alternate processes. Manny, you're right. Weird processes, all kinds of stuff. It's really cool, but it's just not for me. I'm gonna start filming about 5 p.m. or so. Well, good luck, radios. Keep smashing that like button, folks. Yeah, Kat and Maddie, hit the like button. You guys, Kat, if you want dinner tonight, you got to hit the like button. Keep smashing that like button. If anyone's interested in the alt processes, the site is great. Which site, Russell? Daggy's site? Yeah, she has all kinds of processes on there. Super 8 blog, you made it, and we're ending it. I finally made it to one of these. All right, kids. You know what? I gotta get stuff ready. My kids go back to school tomorrow. My kids. One of them's watching right now. Does Bleacher Fix go bad? Yes. Mixed mine 5 years ago. Katie, you might want to switch it out. Yes, it does go bad, and when it does, your film will come out clear. I shot 2 rolls of 500T or 50D in Super 8. I processed them back to back, and they're both completely clear, and I was so sad. It was my developer and Bleach were just out of date. It was a couple months, and it was bad. What do we got? Okay. You'll be there you better be there for the next one, blog, for sure. Guys, listen, I do have to wrap it up. 24-hour stream. Hey, here comes Piper. Hey, Kat and Maddie, if you're still there. Kat, your sister is here. Say hi, sissy.
Hi.
Kat and Maddie were watching a second ago. Back to school, always a hard time. Thank you, guys, everybody, hanging out with everyone. Thanks, Mike, for thank you, Manny, for popping in. Katie. Radios, everybody, all my people. God, you guys are awesome. Are you doing next go around? All right, you guys. Thank you, Barry. Aloha, Piper. Say bye, everybody. Certain Exposures, thank you. Nisi. Say bye, Nisi. I just like saying that name. Say bye, Nisi.
Bye.
Travis, see you later, bud. Text me anytime. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next go around. Peace.